Varieties of on-chain data that are coming out right now are indicating that the pump is already around the corner. Very important. Look at this one right here. I dropped this on the Telegram channel, and this is very important. Ethereum supply on exchanges hit 3 years low. And this is as a result of the fact that corporate institutions are stacking up Ethereum for their treasuries. So this further absorbs the supply from exchanges. So if this is happening, what do you think is going to happen if the demand for Ethereum begin to increase? And if you come down a little bit to this very on-chain data as well, you see Ethereum validator squeeze hits a 2 years high. Very important, with 860k plus Ethereum to be staked. That is $3.7 billion worth of Ethereum. This is very important as well to the fact that there are a lot of demand that is going to come in very soon aggressively on the price of ETH. And if that happens on the price of ETH, of course, so many other altcoins is going to move along with ETH, just like we've been seeing in the past few weeks and months. So this is very important on-chain data you must have to pay attention to. And another thing you need to pay attention to here is this very data right here. So BTC price action that I just gave not long ago today. You see this very price action right here. I was talking about the market coming back down, and this is not aggressive dump to the downside. Okay, so I'm expecting that the market just come back down a little bit, not creating a new low, okay, lower than this very point. The possibility is there before the market is going to move up. Or remember, tomorrow is the NFP, that is the non-farm payroll. So that is going to really trigger the market, in my opinion. However, if we see the market break out on this level of important resistance, then I'm expecting market to approach the 115 and 116,000 dollars. However, for this resistance to break, we need good market confidence, that is good sentiment about the market, for this very level of resistance to break all the way to the upside. And this is very, very important. And if you come to this very price action right here on BTCUSDT 4-hour chart, the same price action, but I want to throw more light on this because it's very, very important. Look at this. I was expecting that market should move upward. That has happened already into my area of interest. If you have been following me on this very channel and following my technical analysis, and this is a continuation coming in right now. And I made mention of the fact that this continuation is going to come in on the Telegram channel right here, okay? And if you read this statement very well, you should be in the right direction of the market. Not only that, if you look at this very point, you discover that the market right now, in my opinion, like I said earlier, should not come all the way to the downside. The possibility is there that the market can come all the way downward and break out on this level of important support. But what I am looking at is for the market to come down a little bit, okay, before the next move to the upside. And if we break here, market is going to create a new high higher than the previous high at this very point. This is what you should pay attention to right now to be in the right direction of the market. So this is what I am now looking at. Very important piece of data that you should not neglect on price action BTC USDT 4-hour chart right now. So pay attention to the market coming back down, okay? Not creating a new low, lower than this very low right here, but market should just come back down a little bit, and then we should see the market begin to move all the way to the upside after this little continuation. So what that also translates into is I am expecting a field swing, okay? So market come back down, not creating a new low, lower than this low right here, mean market should fill at this very point, and then market should continue upward. And a breakout here is going to make us to see 115k dollars. So this is what I am now looking at on the price of BTC USDT 4-hour chart. And if you come to the price of Ethereum, look at it right at this very point. Very important. I was expecting market to move upward for retracement. It has happened. So what next for the market? Of course, this very point is an important point of resistance. Important point of resistance, okay? So market is having this rejection from this very area because of sell pressure. However, what I am now looking at is for the market to come back down, okay? Market should come down to this very point of support before the next move to the upside. So I'm expecting the last move, continuation downward before the next move to the upside. And I am not expecting the market to go below this very area for this continuation. That means a fair swing is expected for me on this very price action before the next move upward. And this is very important now. There are a lot of prediction out there that the market is going to go below $3,800. Okay, below it, that means between 3,700 and 3,600. Okay, people are projecting within that range. That is what we're going to see the market drop into before the Fed rate cut. However, what I am expecting is nothing below 4K. Look at it right at this very point. Okay, what I'm expecting is for the market to drop into this very area. That is the worst case scenario I'm expecting right now. Because if you look at what is happening on chain, I strongly believe that Ethereum have a greater capacity of moving all the way to the upside. And that is why the worst case scenario for me is for Ethereum to move all the way into this very area of $4,000 and begin to move upward. However, it can break out, okay, and come into this very area below 3,800, that is into 3,700, 3,600 as people are projecting. That is possible, but for me, the worst case scenario is for this very market to come into this very area, and then market should begin to move all the way to the upside. And this is what you need to pay attention to as well. One thing I always say is that you must be very pragmatic in your price action, and you must do your price action in such a way that if price changes, you must change your perspective. Okay, that is why it is good that if you have done your price action, let's say 24 hours ago or 48 hours ago, come back and recheck what price is doing, because your sentiment may change or your directional bias may change in the market based on the current price action together with historical data on price action, as you can see right here. So for me, what I am expecting is for the market to come back down, okay, into this very area, fair swing, and the market should move upward. That means if we break out here, market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside. And this is my personal opinion on this very price action right now. And this is also what you should pay attention to be in the right direction of the market. Now, if you look at these very points of $4K, you discover that when market was moving upward, from this very area, market was moving upward. This move upward, come back down, move up. We see a little pause here and a little pause at this very point. Okay, so that is why people are saying this very point below this area to collect liquidity is a good point. That is the $3,700 and the $3,600 within this very area. Okay, it's a good point for market to collect liquidity. However, what I am looking at is this very point of $4,000, and that is the exact same point market move into. So after market move this much, come back into the same point of $4,000, move up again, create a new high. So right now, obviously, I am looking at the worst case scenario that should happen right here is for the market to, okay, and then from here come into this very point. Of course, it may not just crash into this very area. Market can just move down a little bit in this formation, move upward, and finally come back into this area, and then a move to the upside. Another possibility that can happen here is a collection of liquidity that may market come back down, come into the $4K, and then come down a little bit to 3,900, grab liquidity, and then begin to run all the way to the upside. This is my personal opinion right now. These are the two scenarios, okay? Two scenarios I am looking at on this very price action. Either the market come back down and then begin to move upward, break out, move all the way to the upside. That is a fair swing right here, first case scenario. And then the second case scenario is for the market to move down into this area, $4K, or either collect liquidity before the final move to the upside for Ethereum. Now, this is my personal opinion, and this is what I am now looking at on the price of ETH USDT for our chart. Now, you may have something contrary to this, but If you believe in what I am talking about, or this is in line with what you are looking at on ETH in this very case, just comment below in the comment section of this video. So within these two perspectives, either between this very moving to this area before the next move upward, or moving here before the next move upward, which one are you looking at? Comment below in the comment section of this very video. And also for BTC, are you looking at the markets from here just move upward, or you're looking at the market come back down a little bit as I'm expecting before the next move to the upside? Comment below in the comment section as well. Let me see what you are thinking about the market. And then one thing very important on the price of Pi right now is that I told you guys that the market is going to reject from here, that there is a little fair value gap at this very point. Yes, okay, but I told you that it's not very necessary for me, and then I'm not looking at it, although I was paying attention to it. But the most important part is this very area of order block, okay, fair value gap, order block. So from here, I was expecting market to enter into this very point for retracement and come back down, but the market did not enter here. It just approached it a little bit, did not enter inside, and then come back down. So I am expecting this move to come into this very area. That's my expectation. And if you look at this very point as well, you discover that for me, 70% chance market is going to break here. Okay, 70% is going to break here and come back down before the next move to the upside, and that is what I'm expecting. So after market coming to this area, 70% chance market can break this level and begin to come back to the downside. And this is very important. Pay attention to this as well to be in the right direction of the market. And on the price of Solana, if you watch my immediate last price action video, I was talking about the market moving to the upside for retracement, and the exact same thing that we see right now. Markets move as expected, and right now market is moving upward. Now what I am looking at on the price of Sol is that even though the market move upward, okay, and create a new high, I will not consider that move serious. Okay, yeah, I will not consider that move serious. I have to see the market really break out on this level of important resistance. Very important point of resistance right here. Okay, so if the market move upward and did not break out of this level between 217 218 dollars, that is 217 218 dollars, I will not consider that move serious, because market can still come back to the downside. But if I see market move upward and then break here resistance, then I will be very sure that the market is going to move upward, and here is going to act as support for market continuation to the upside. So this is what I am looking at right now. However, markets can do anything. Okay, sometimes you can do analysis like this and market will still do what it wants to do. So this is what I'm expecting. Market move upward, I will not consider it serious. Market is going to come back down except a breakout here. What that also means is market can come back into this area before the final move to the upside. This is what you must have to pay attention to on these various price action right now to be in the right direction of the market. Very, very important. And if you come to coin market cap, you discover that the global crypto market capitalization have increased from what we saw 2 days ago, $3.77 trillion to $3.83 trillion. Not very much, but significant. And if you look at the altcoin index, we saw 49, and this is 51, okay, over 100. I want to see something bigger than this, 60, 70 for us to see gradual pump, and 80, 85 aggressive pump is going to come into the market. That is when the market is going to approach this very blue area on this very altcoin index. This is what you must have to pay attention to. Keep your eye on this to be in the right direction of the market right now. So pay attention to all of this on the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pi, and Solana. One of the most important things is that if you look at on-chain data, it is covered that Ethereum is gradually building up, okay? And I believe strongly that the momentum that is going to push Ethereum to 7K and 10K is already in place. We just need what Fed is going to do upper week in the Fed interest rate decision and the FOMC meeting to further spice that up for market to begin to move all the way to the upside. So don't pay deaf ears to on-chain data like this one. Okay, very important. So if exchanges are no longer having enough Ethereum for buyers on their exchange, what do you think is going to happen? So demand is definitely going to outweigh supply, and that's going to push the market upward. However, note that corporate institutions are now stacking up ETH for their treasuries, and this is very important. Look at this validator news as well. All of these are pushing pressure on the price of ETH to move all the way to the upside. So on-chain data, very important. So if you want to join the channel to receive on-chain data, fundamental and technical analysis like this one, please join right now. Link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. It is a free Telegram channel. Also invite others with the link down below. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.